What's up, everybody? All right, still waiting on a few racers to load into the lobby. We're live. It's We Have Fun F1. This is round 5. We're in Hungary. So we're just waiting on a couple of more drivers to dip in here, and then we're gonna go live. Got a special treat for you at the Goat's back. AJ's in the booth. We're gonna be doing every Sunday commentating for We Have Fun F1. So you guys that have been around a while know. So give us just a few minutes here. I got a little special treat once we get loaded into the load screen. So hang tight. We'll be right back with you. Oh, we got some bits from Zampa. Save them, Zampa. I got some new updates I want to run on the stream. So save those bits for once we get rolling. We'll be right back with you. All right, boys, we're loading in. Let's get this party started with some good old action. All right, let's go. AJ's back in the house, guys. We got a little party going on. Full drive from Ultra Titan. Craig in the chat. Zampa there. Let's go. All right, guys. Special guest today. Couldn't do it by myself. I got my main man, GB, in the booth starting us off. GB, say hello to the fans.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while, AJ. It's been about 2 years since we've shared a commentary booth together. It's good to be back, my friend.
It's been too long. I hope you guys like the little music action there. That's Arianator on YouTube. That's his cover of the guitar theme for F1. So big shout out to him. If you liked it, go give him some love on YouTube. Arianator, Arianator. He's got some pretty solid videos there. But yeah, we're back, guys. We're back. I've come out of retirement. So we got a lot of action going on. We made some big changes to the stream. Spent most of the morning making some upgrades. So we got some new things. Alerts are up. We got new sound clips as well. The beer chug's active again. And we're gonna have a good time. We're going around the ring in Hungary. My favorite track. GB, what do you think of this one?
It's a funny old track, Hungary, isn't it? It's one that, in real life, doesn't necessarily provide the most entertaining of action. I think it's fair to say. But on the F1 game, it always seems to bring out some really good bit of wheel-to-wheel racing, but mainly more than anything, just the strategic action. You know, it's very common for safety cars around this track, and well, hopefully we can have a good race tonight. We've had a few good races this season, haven't we?
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's been pretty spicy. This tier's pretty competitive. Hungary's one of those tracks. It's a little technical. Big sausage curb in the middle chicane there in Sector 2. A lot of battling down the front straight. We're going to see most of the overtakes there with that big DRS zone. If you get the DRS there down the front straight, you also get it there right into Sector 2 into Turn 1. So we'll see some battling down the hill in that big sweeping left-hander.
It's the third shortest track on the F1 calendar, Hungary, and it's essentially called Monaco without the barriers, isn't it? That's what it's nicknamed as, and you can see why riding on board with all the cars today. It's such a narrow track. One mistake and you're off the track and quite possibly into a wall on some parts. Certainly through that quick uphill left-hander at the end of Sector 1.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. We got the death curve there right after that. That right-hander, man. You get down on the inside of that corner and touch the rumble strip there. And history has shown to be pretty dangerous. Looks like the new game has a lot more grip, so hopefully that won't play into it. We got our first few times rolling in. Looks like Luxury's gone the fastest. 15.5, followed closely by Jason G, Mr. JG himself. Arrow coming in third right now with a 15.9.
Yeah, Luxury has been a very consistent qualifier so far this season with 4 rounds in. I'm pretty sure he has qualified in on the top 3 actually, sorry, in every single round this season. He's been second behind Cookie though, every single round. Cookie so far this season on pole position at all 4 races. So he's definitely going to be one to watch in this qualifying session. Absolutely dominating the season so far. It's fair to say 4 pole positions, 4 race wins. Can anyone stop him today, do you think?
I don't know. He was pretty dominant last year. Very, very dominant. Thank you, Ultra Titan, for that. Sorry, that one slipped past the old eyes. All right, Boss Cookie got 1:15.1, so he's going to dethrone Luxury and take the top spot, as GB was just talking about.
There we go, just proving our point yet again. A massive lap that as well from Boss Cookie.
Here's his teammate, SSR Halo, cruising into Sector 3, carrying some pretty good momentum.
Yeah, Luxury, interestingly, retired, I've seen there.
Maybe trying to save some tires?
Yeah, it's very interesting to have retired already. I don't think it was an accident. I certainly didn't see a yellow flag anywhere.
No, it looks like he's in the pit. So Halo's going to go P7 with a 16.4.
Hearing reports in the Tier 1 chat that it's a dry weekend, so not too much wet, well, no chance of wet running by the sounds of it for this weekend if the game's to be trusted, so that removes one aspect of the strategy going into this weekend.
Ultra Titan says maybe some rain at the halfway point, but it's not been correct a lot. Yeah, the weather's been inconsistent there, so it's been real hard to tell what's true and what's not. On board with Just Sanders. He's ripping it through Sector 2 now.
Yeah, looking like a pretty decent second lap here from Just Sander.
It's currently sitting P5 with a 1:16 flat. Let's see if he can improve on that. It's going to be close. They're slowing, but oh, he's going to...
Oh, pulls into the pits instead.
Okay, so he's had it. That's all right. That's all right. You got Conley back there.
It's a decent bank lap though, that from Sander there. Only 8 tenths off pole, but we know just how close it is. Once you get past that top 2 that have been so consistently at the front of the grid this season, the gap from Sander to JG up in third is only just over 2.5 tenths. So slight improvement, and he could easily find himself pushing towards that very sharp end at the front of the grid.
Couldn't agree more. Arrow starting his lap now in the Ferrari, coming around turn 1. We'll go on board down the hill in Sector 1. into the left-hander. He's going to let the car roll through this. And we got a sharp right. New follower. Well, we got ourselves a new follower, Luxury. Thank you for following the stream, big dog. Love to see it. There you go. We got some new alerts. Hope you guys like them. Did all the voice acting myself. All right, look at Arrow cruising through there. You can see he hugged that inside corner a lot. It caused him to go invalid, so his lap's not going to count. But did not die like he would have in previous games.
Yeah, it just goes to show the improvement on this game with the grip. You're able to push the cars so much more than in previous games without that sort of fear of just randomly losing the rear end by touching a curb. In the case of Hungary in particular, with, like we said, that death curb up at turn 5, where it just, in previous games, you'd touch it and your car would just spin straight away. But it looks like Arrow's going to go for a second lap here.
Yeah, we're following Bone Apple right now on the Haas. He's coming into Sector 3. We got ourselves some bits. Oh, we got ourselves some bits, boys. 1,000 bits from Craig Conley. Huge donation. Much love, Conley. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. The Dark Horse. Rolling the McLaren. Let's go. Appreciate you, Craig. Much love, brother. Much love. Let's see, it says Arrow's doing another lap. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of it. He's through where he invalidated last time. Really pushing the car. You can see him just working all the way across the track. All this part of the track is all rhythm here. It's all about momentum. You got to keep it rolling through those back and forth turns. Oh, a little wide.
Oh, runs a bit wide.
It gave it to him though. It gave it to him. Purple. Wow, he was all 4 wheels off the track. I'm surprised he didn't invalidate there. He was
still
well off.
Coming through this final corner. Coming up to the line, and Arrow will not improve.
Follower.
Oh, he does improve, so by half a tenth there. So
all right.
P4s.
We got another follower, Jamie Dwyer. Thanks for the follow, brother. Good luck today. Hope you have a great race. Appreciate it. Arrow.
Jamie Dwyer, one of 4 reserves tonight, sitting in the Williams alongside Luxury.
Well, then hats off to Jamie. Thank you for sitting in today.
Yeah, currently P14, but set his lap on the mediums, and understandably, just looks like a very much banker lap just to get his name on the board so far. So we're expecting to see a slightly quicker time from him later on.
That's +7 seconds for Boss, so that was not his best go around. Yet to set a lap, Ultra Titan, he's out on an out lap now, fixing to start his lap in the AlphaTauri. Beautiful, beautiful livery for the AlphaTauri. Still one of my favorite paint jobs in F1. It is absolute beautiful car every year.
Just what I'll say about Arrow, we were saying about how he was pushing the car through that. He's actually run out of fuel on his in-lap. That's what's causing the yellow flag at the middle of Sector 3 there. It's actually Arrow who's run out of fuel.
And pardon me, I said AlphaTauri, I meant the Alfa Romeo. Got excited there. It's just such a strikingly good livery. That red is beautiful. Looks like Arrow's limped it into the pits.
Yeah, he's made it back into the pits. I think he was actually being followed by JG there as well. He was probably not thanking him for running out of fuel directly in front of him.
Got 6.5 minutes left in quali. Big shout out to Craig Conley, the bit leader. 1,000 bits. Let's go, Craig, with a huge donation. Much love, Craig. All right, here we go. Ultra Titans coming through the final few corners here. Really pushing the car. You see him whipping it around. It's gonna roll out here. Ooh, little sloppiness there. See if he can get through. He's gonna go P7. Big jump for him. 115.999. So that's gonna put him just ahead of Haters, just behind Arrow.
Also got Halo coming around the final corner as well. He's about to set his second lap time of the session. Goes P8, just in behind behind Titan there, just a 10th off of him. Almost a second off his teammate Boss Cookie, who still tops the timings with just over 5 minutes to go.
It looks like he dropped about a tenth on that time from his previous, so it did move him up quite a bit. On board with Craig Conley, we see him coming down the hill. He's at a 1:16.4. Craig, a beloved member here for a long time. Legend in SSR. And he's carried over into We Have Fun. I'm glad to see it. Solid guy. Viewers up to 6. Tell your friends we're live. The GOAT's back. Let's get some people in here to watch this stream. Let's do it. It's going to be some great racing today.
Looks like next man to be setting that lap will be Conley. I was looking at the other ones and everyone else on in laps. So Conley coming round the first of the 2 hairpins at turn 13, then up the slight hill into the final corner. Puts the power down as early as he can. Not quite using the entire track there, but still improves on his lap. Goes P11, or stays P11, should I say.
Yeah, only about 200 of a second faster, but just going to stick air in P11.
Yeah, he's probably just about got time to pit and get a fresh set of tyres on and head back out if he was wanting to. And I mean, he's not far off getting ahead of Billy and Penguin, though. He's only half a tenth behind him and getting into that top 10, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Craig back out on track before the end of the session.
Yeah, I think he's going to probably have to dive in, get some tires, and come back out. Give it one more run. He's got just a little bit of time. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Oh, man, we see Jamie Dwyer just a little too far across the line there. He's going to invalidate in the Williams, so his lap will not count. Boss Cookie still sitting 1:15.1. He's on a lap now.
Yeah, Boss Cookie at the moment just dropping down the hill into that fast right-hander at turn 3. He has a little bit of traffic up ahead of him, but thankfully they stay out of his way as he rises up the hill through that fast left-hander at 4. Doesn't quite hit the apex there, but still going purple through sets 1. Comes through that long right-hander and up towards the chicane where we've seen Arrow invalidate earlier in the session, and so does Cookie invalidating at the same point with a fast chicane at turns 6 and 7. And well, he might have chance for another lap, I'd say, if he recharges his battery a little bit. But so far, no one particularly challenging him for that pole position spot.
Yeah, not many contenders there. It's been pretty reminiscent of the last season as well. In SSR, he was very dominant.
I was looking back at the results from earlier in this season, and Cookie is, like I said earlier, he's got pole position at every race and he's won every race, but he's also been dominantly getting that pole position. I mean, he got it by 3/10 in the second round of the season. It was nearly a second in the season opener at Bahrain. Thankfully, in I believe it's round 3 at Britain, it was a bit closer between him and Luxury, but as we've already seen, Luxury out of this session, so I'll have to see if someone else can step up to the plate and really challenge Cookie in this session, as we see Ollie going P2 and his Mercedes jumping ahead of Luxury, but still 2.5 tenths off the lead.
Yeah, that was a big lap for Ollie, but still coming up just a bit short, just over 2 tenths behind. Like I said before, Boss Cookie's abilities are not only speed but consistency. Throws down some great laps consistently through the race. He's a very skilled driver. I mean, he's going to be a tough one to beat. Got Ezzy in the chat. Welcome, Ezzy. Appreciate you tuning in today. Up to 6 viewers. Tell the boys. Tell your friends. Tell your wives and cousins. Don't forget, we got the sound alerts up and running. Beer chugs are back up. We got a mariachi F1 theme. We also have a little Alex Albon. He arrests me so hard. Feel free to utilize those. If you got a sound alert that you want to bring to the stream, reach out to me. Let me know. We'll try to find it and get it up there so you guys can support the stream, have a little fun while we're doing it.
Oh, Boss Cookie's just missed the pit lane entry there, so he's just going to go round again for the sake of it.
Just had a little cheeky miss of the pit lane.
Yeah, he was going to call it a day there, and he obviously won't be improving on this lap. He's got barely any battery power left, and no doubt he's about to run out of fuel. So, but it's looking very good for him yet again. It'll be his most dominant qualifying performance since that second round.
Zampa wants the flute back. See if I can find the short version of the flute. It's pretty long.
Next up to the line, we're riding on board with Jamie Dyer, one of 4 reserves this weekend. He's currently 4 seconds off the pace, but we know he hasn't quite hit his fastest times yet. And coming up to the line, he does go a little bit quicker, but still a fair way off the back of the pack at the moment. But sitting 15th, he is ahead of Cod for the race.
Yeah, stats are showing about 3/10 faster that lap, but he's still coming up short. He's still ways behind Michael Louis and those above him. Not a bad lap, though. He'll find his legs in the race. All right, Halo's looking P7 right now. Still a few people out on track.
Yeah, next person up to the line's going to be Billy and Penguin, I believe. Yeah, he's the next one on a lap that hasn't been invalidated, so we'll see him coming up to that final corner. Keeps it nice and tight to the apex, gets back his foot down on the power as quick as he can, up to the line.
Oh, he's going to jump
P9.
him. P9, 116.063, so he makes 2 spots there. Big lap for Billy and Penguin with a last-minute jump.
And I believe that is everyone on a hot lap.
Yeah, Haters is still on a lap, but it doesn't look like he's moving too quick. He's Cadillacing it in.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be it.
Looks like everyone there. So it's looking like a 5th consecutive pole position for Cookie by his most dominant margin since the second race of the season. Heading up that front row alongside the Mercedes of Ollie, who gets ahead of Luxury, who only completed 1 lap in that session. And that was good enough for him to get P3. The other Mercedes of JG in an impressive P4. Very close, actually, between 2nd and 4th there, with only just over a 1/10 of a second between the 3 of them.
Looks like everybody on the softs as well.
It also looks, I think I've just seen a few spots of rain just as the sessions ended as well.
Yeah,
so
I saw that as well.
Just missed out on some wet running.
So Boss Cookie with the fast lap, 1:15.1. That is the time to beat. We're going to grab the race director for the staff here. Not too many incidences. Oh, Jamie Dwyer collided with Billy and Penguin, so he's got a grid penalty, so that's unfortunate. Luxury had terminal damage. That's why he retired. So it's a little action. And then Boss Cookie had terminal damage as well at the end of the race, so a little cheeky fun there at the end of quali. All right, Boss Cookie and Ollie on the front row. Luxury and Jason Gordon on the second row. Just Sanders and Arrow on the third row. Halo, UT, Billy and Penguin, and Haters closing out the top 10. Everybody got a lap. Very close together. It's going to be good racing. Jamie said he's way off the pace. That's all right, Jamie. You race your race, big dog. Be clean. It's all right.
And in the battle of the reserves, it's actually Lakesy's got the advantage over the other 4 reserves qualifying in P13 in that Alfa Romeo. So congratulations to him for being the leading reserve for tonight's lobby.
Yeah, fantastic. We got a little chat action going on. Rain started at the end of quali. Ultra Titan saw that as well. He said, I'll update the in-game weather when the race grid loads. No formation lap. Full dry. All right, guys, don't ready up early. I know that's been a problem in Tier 2. All you guys have raced a long time. Let's not have any nonsense. All right, get your setups in. Don't accidentally hit the button. Don't screw your fellow racers. If we figure out who it is a race ban. You guys know that. I haven't seen it happen too much in Tier 1, so let's keep it classy up here. Big shout out to GB for sitting in the booth today. He got all the fun facts. He's keeping up on the stats, so I appreciate that. I'm glad to be back. I missed everybody. We're up to 13 viewers now, so big shout out to all 13 viewers. If it's your first time in the stream, say hi in the chat. It'll pop it up. Let's give you a shout out. We got stream alerts, so you can play some music there or play some alerts there for some bits. I think the
new
Beer Chug
follower.
Oh, we got a new follower. Despicable Nelly. Welcome to the stream, Despicable Nelly. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the follow. Much love. Like I was saying, we got stream alerts. The beer chugs are back. They're 500 bits. They're a little steep, but beers are going up thanks to Joe Biden economy down here in America. So we got a little payment there. If those are too high for European guys, I know there's a little conversion factor. Let me know. We might be able to adjust those down a little bit. The other two are 100 bits a piece. We got channel points, sandwiches. Be sure and use your sandwiches. So throw my controller down. We got race predictions. We gotta update those too. There's still some old stuff in there. So.
What are you expecting from this race then, AJ? What's your early prediction after seeing that qualifying session?
They're gonna have the work cutting out, taking Boss Cookie's legs out. I think the midfield's gonna be where the action's at today. It's gonna be real spicy. The times are real close together. A little ducking and diving. I think everything from about 4 back to about 10 is really gonna have a lot of action today. They're gonna be dicing and diving and mixing it up. We got to keep it clean. I think maybe 2 safety cars. At least one.
Hopefully.
At least one.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Hungary if there wasn't a safety car at some point of the race. We know what Hungary is like.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be a good race. We're back. We're back. All right, we're going to do this live. We're going to have a good race. Everybody's going to do well. Looks like everybody had a pretty decent quali. Ezzy in the chat says AJ and GB is Velvet Thunder version 2. Yeah. And see, Ultra Titan said no one readied up early. You guys are class act. We love you. We appreciate you following the rules, man. Makes our job easier. We don't like giving out quality bands and race bands for that nonsense. So we appreciate y'all following the rules. It's pretty simple, straightforward. There's no formation lap, guys. No formation lap. So good luck. As soon as the lights go out, we're racing. Big shout out to the rest of the viewers here. 12 viewers. Craig Conley again. I got to give him a shout out. 1,000 bits, man. That's huge for the stream. We appreciate that. All right, here we go. We got lights. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're racing in Hungary. Let's go. Let's get the tires up there so we can see what's happening. All right. Looks like Boss Cookie is going to take us into turn 2. The Mercedes goes down the inside. Oh, Ollie's fighting him, but the Red Bull's got the power. Boss Cookie into turn 2. Ollie hot on his heels. Luxury right there in the mix. The other Mercedes, JG, is fighting along with him. Looks like everybody got away clean. What a start to the race. No one readied up early.
Luxury up the inside. Wolf. Luxury just diving it up the inside of Ollie there. Interesting. Luxury actually going for the softs.
Jason, looks like Jason and Luxury had a little touch there mid-apex. Luxury losing out, falls back 2 positions in behind Arrow. We're on board with him now. There's a VSC. VSC, we got some commotion in the back. Who is that? That was Ultra Titan and Halo maybe tangling a little bit. Looks like everybody's racing. Ultra Titan missing the left end plate. Looking for a better angle
just had a look at Luxury after that contact with JG. It doesn't look like he's picked up any damage. I haven't checked the front wing of JG just yet.
UT is definitely missing the front left end plate, so he's going to be in the pits. We're going to take a look at JG, see if there's any contact.
JG looks like he's fully intact, but it's worth noticing actually Luxury going for a slightly different strategy to those around him on the softs. So this is not the start he would have wanted. He needs to be taking full advantage of that quick compound early on in the race. And, well, losing 2 positions, not the ideal start to make that happen. A lot of people in the pits though. Towards the back of the grid, we've got both Alfa Romeos as well as the Alfa Tauri of Michael Louis and the Haas of Bone Apple strapping on fresh sets of tyres. It's a set of hards for Bone Apple and Leixi. Michael Louis adopting the mediums and Ultra Titan heading to the hards as well.
Luxury down the inside of Arrow into the chicane. He's going to get it done. Get a lull here, maybe a safety car. I'll try to fix the gamma. I think that's my game. Ezzy in the chat said the stream looks a little dark, so I'll try to get that fixed for you guys if we can get a safety car. I don't want y'all to miss the action. Halo's going to get a spot on COD. He's going to move up into 11th.
Also got a drive-through penalty for Bone Apple T, so I'm assuming he must have been going a bit too fast as he came out the pit lane while the virtual safety car was ending, so that's very unfortunate for his race. He'll certainly be hoping for that very common safety car around the Hungaroring.
All right, Luxury on the back of Arrow coming down the street. Yeah, it is very dark there in the shadows. He's going to whip out to the right, try to go down the inside into turn 1. It's going to get it done. It's going to get it done. Nice smooth overtake there by the Williams of Luxury. Give me just a second, guys.
Back
Let's
up
see
into
if we can
P4.
get this scam up a little bit. Give me just a second. Graphics
Anyways,
settings.
I'll try and commentate on the race while we're sorting out the lobby settings. Luxury comfortably up into P4, already pulling half a second ahead of Arrow. He'll be looking to close the 1.5 second gap that JG now has ahead of him in third. But at the front of the race, we've got Boss Cookie extending that gap over Ollie at nearly 2 seconds already. So Ollie was trying to get a little bet going with Cookie in the chat just before the race started, saying that if he beats him, he gets your GR86. Well, so far it looks like you're going to have your work cut out with that one, Ollie. Boss Cookie certainly tried to pull away at the front of the grid.
Oh, listening to the team radios, it seems like there's a little frustration for Bone Apple T in the Haas. There was an explicit comment about not being able to brake, so I think somebody might have got into the back of him there. Maybe caused that issue from earlier, so.
Luxury setting the fastest lap of the race there at 1:18.3, try to take full advantage of that soft tyre compound. And he's certainly closing that gap in on JG, already gained about half a second over the course of that last lap, now 1.2 seconds behind. DRS is going to be enabled this lap, I believe. I'm not too sure with the virtual safety car, actually.
Yeah,
Let's see what we get.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the notification come up.
Is that looking better? It got it a little brighter.
That's looking a bit better, that.
Looks a little shinier on my end. Arrow creeping in on the back of Just Sanders. We got a little DRS train. Just Sanders, Arrow, Haters, and Penguin all right there together, kind of towing each other around into Sector 3. We got the Mercedes both very close together as well. They're trying to run down Boss Cookie, who is pulling away. He's now 2.2 seconds ahead. It's opening up a gap here.
It's also worth giving a shout out to Jamie Dwyer in the Williams. He was saying earlier, just after the qualifying session, that he thought he was way off the pace, but he's had a brilliant start to this race, staying out of trouble. He's currently being challenged by Halo for P10, and Halo will go down the inside of him into turn 1, but Jamie Dwyer still up 5 places into P11 at the moment on the soft compounded tyre.
We got ourselves some bits. Got little bits. Let's get this party started. Sampa's falling behind in the leaderboard, only 47 bits for the month, so I had to rub it in a little bit there. We're gonna have to stretch the legs to catch Conley though. 1,000 bits today from Conley, the animal. He's sitting P9 right now, and the McLaren doing a great job trying to reel in Billy and Penguin. Back up to the front, we got Jason Gordon. That's JG for you guys that are in SSR. Remember JG. Him and his teammate doing really well, looking great for the constructors right now. Both Mercedes sitting 2-3, right in behind the Red Bull of Boss Cookie. Boss Cookie's teammate Halo back in P10, trying to get caught up here. William Penguin closing in on Haters down the front straight. I think he's a little too far back to make a dive here, but he's reeling him in, maybe in the next sector. Oh, Ezzy in there with the F1 Mariachi.
Luxury is well and truly on the back of the top 4, the top 3 now. He's within almost 0.3 of a second behind JG, who is obviously still stuck behind his teammate there, Ollie, in second. I'm sure. I wonder if we'll see some team orders here. I'm not sure if the Mercedes lads are in the same party with each other, but it'll be interesting to see if Ollie tries to keep this P2 and it potentially cost his teammate a position to luxury.
Well, that's a good shout. Yeah, I'm not familiar if they're kosher with team orders, so we'll have to see if JG has to put the block on. Big shout out to Ezzy for the 100 bits with the F1 Mariachi. I feel like that one was much better than the flute. Hope you guys like that one. A little easier on the ears. Big shout out to Ezzy for the bits. So Ezzy taking the number 2 spot with that donation of bits. 100 for Ezzy. Craig's still up there with 1,000. I got 66. Zampa in there with, I believe, 47. GB with 4 and Charisma with 4. So appreciate all you guys supporting the stream. Got a little action going on. We're 7 laps in. Still a lot of race to be had. GB was talking about it here. Luxury trying to creep on the back of these guys. I think if they're in the party, JG's got to hold him up. He's on the medium, so he's got Luxury behind on the softs. Those are gonna go away. So if he can hold him up and give his guy Ollie a chance here, open up a gap for him, I think that's the smart play.
We are, of course, only 5 rounds into this season as well, so it's perhaps a bit too early for us to be talking about who's more likely to be challenging in that championship. But if we do look at the points going into this round, JG is 3rd in the standings on 57, while his teammate Ollie only down in 7th at the moment on 35 points. So that could potentially sway them, but for the time being, they seem pretty capable of keeping Luxury behind. You can see those soft tyres seem to be going off now, and he might have actually just dropped out of the DRS range.
Ooh, that's
not quite. He just snuck in it there. So he was just within a second of the guys ahead, but he is struggling to keep up on the back of them as we start lap 8.
Billion Penguin's gonna get through Haters. It goes down the inside at the end of the straight. Haas up into P7. Good overtake by him. He's gonna have to really get the power down though. Haters known for the pace, so we're going to see if he can get it done and keep it. Looks like they're coming down the hill now. Haas is ahead into the right-hander down the hill, so he's got a little bit of a gap, 410, so he's made it stick. Back up to the leaders. We got Jason Gordon there. He's hanging on the back of his teammate. Luxury still driving those softs. Yeah, Despicable Nelly's got it called right. Those softs are going to drop off real fast here in the next lap or two. So Luxury's going to have to do an early pit here. We're going to see if this strategy works out for him.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Luxury coming in within the next couple of laps. He's now outside of that DRS window, 1.2 seconds behind JG ahead of him. He's actually closing up on his teammate now, only half a second between them. That gap has come down by a couple of attempts over the last couple of laps, so it'd be interesting to see if these two are going to race each other or just stay in the formation they're currently in. And in fact, the gap to the leader as well, gap to Boss Cookie up in first, coming down slightly. Was up just over 2 seconds, now hovering around 1.9 seconds. So I wonder if Cookie's starting to struggle on his mediums.
Yeah, looks like they're gaining a little time. He's got it down to 1.819. It was 2.2 there the last 2 laps, so it looks like he's creeping in. They're creeping in on him. They're working together. Doesn't look like they're battling each other either. It looks like they're both running real consistent laps together. So then maybe they are talking. I mean, Luxury doesn't look like he's much of a threat back there now. He's out of the DRS, so these two look like they're really working together, trying to pull each other around the track.
Yeah, they're certainly doing a good job of it so far. Ollie does have a 3-second penalty at the moment, as does Arrow in the solo Ferrari of this round, up in 6th place. So penalties are certainly things to watch out for later on in the race, because we know how tough Hungary is. You've got to be so committed, particularly through Sector 2, where, you know, you lose so much time if you're not on the pace through there. But picking up penalties could certainly be costly, especially if we do get a safety car, like we were saying earlier. If we get a late safety car, those penalties could massively change the final order of things.
Absolutely. We got a legend in the chat. Loogie in there says, "Sup, dudes? What's up, my man? Welcome back."
Welcome back, Loogie.
Man, the myth, the legend, the original OG commentator crew, Velvet Thunder. been a good one so far, GB. I'm not disappointed. I mean, we got a good little battle at the front. The teams are working together, a little spice down at the back. I think once the pit stops happen, we're going to see the real magic happen.
Yeah, they're still pulling in Boss Cookie here. 1.6 seconds now. The gap. I noticed coming out of the first corner, Boss Cookie had a bit of... He was really revving out the engine, so I don't know if he was losing the rear end a little bit there, but certainly seems to be struggling on his tyres a lot more than the two Mercedes behind him.
The Mercedes are looking real strong, real fluid together. Watch them through the corners. They're just right behind each other. They're really working together well. They're keeping a nice distance, keeping that dirty air off of each other. It's really good teamwork here. Here comes Jason. He's going to have DRS. Use a little bit of battery here to keep the space, but he doesn't look like he's trying to attack. He looks like he's trying to just maintain that distance. Could have a run here.
It certainly seems like it's a smart plan so far as well. I mean, it is working. At the very least, they are keeping with Boss Cookie, but I won't be surprised later on in the race if this is still the situation they're in, if we see the Mercedes potentially swap around to try and give JG that opportunity to attack, given Ollie's time penalty at the moment. So yeah, it's one thing catching Boss Cookie, it's another thing then gapping him by 3 seconds.
Well, this is true. This is very true. And like you said, you mentioned they do have the time penalty, so that's going to hurt him as a driver. But the team is in good shape here. And you got to keep in mind they're very close together, so somebody's going to have to make that first pit stop. So Ollie with the penalty, you think JG's going to have to go in when Boss Cookie goes in. JG might have to take one more lap. I'm sorry, Ollie might have to take one more lap, you know, with the time penalty, give JG a chance to battle with Boss Cookie. Still think we got a few more laps before we see any pit stops.
Yeah, JG just dropping off the back of Ollie a little bit on this last lap. The gap now almost up to a second. He does stay within the DRS range, but yeah, they definitely dropped back a little bit over the back end of that last lap. Does manage to close the gap back up, of course, with the extra helping hand that DRS provides. Got the gap down by about 0.4 of a second there over the course of those two straights, but perhaps Ollie managing his tyres a slight little bit better than his teammate behind him.
Looking at the stats here, it looks like maybe Ollie's using a little more battery. It looks like he's maybe pushing just a bit harder. JG's conserving a bit more. It looks like he's utilizing it a little less. They're comparable, but it looks like Ollie's definitely having to push a little harder to stay ahead.
It certainly could be JG looking at that long game, because if we look at the battery life of all them, he is really saving up, although I've also noticed Cookie is also saving a lot of battery, so perhaps he is just almost teasing the Mercedes behind him, letting them know I can drop off a little bit, look after my tyres that little bit more, and save up some battery for later on in that race.
Yeah, distinct advantage to Boss Cookie there. He's consistent. That's why I mentioned in quality, his biggest attribute is he's consistent. And so he doesn't have to press. He doesn't have to battle to stay ahead. His consistency allows him to use less battery and conserve a lot more. I mean, I think right now you're right. He's I wouldn't say he's necessarily toying with him, but he's definitely not running away with it. He's got a lot more juice in the tank. I think he could really pull away and stretch a gap here, but he's saving those tires. He's waiting to make his move.
And the best way of describing it so far is it is very much under control for Cookie at the moment. He knows what his strategy is. He's running it. So far, you'd say to perfection. You know, leading the race, managing that 2 second gap, but also saving tyres, saving that battery for later on when he may need it. Interesting to note though, now JG has dropped out of that 1 second window to his teammate and is slowly dropping back as this lap's gone on as well. And that could allow Luxury in 4th place to get within that DRS window. He's only just outside a second and has been pushing over the last few laps. But he also has just Sander within DRS of him, so that 3rd to 5th sort of battle is starting to close in, and we might have a 3-way scrap for the final spot on the podium here.
And while we're talking about that battle, race control comes across 3-second penalty for haters for track limit violation. So he's getting a little wild there. I'm sure the team's going to reach out and tell him to tighten that line up. We got 13 laps on the sauce for Luxury. Jamie Dwyer also out there for 12 laps on the sauce, really stretching the red compound. Oh, we got somebody in the pits. That's going to be Just Sanders. He's going for the softs now. Medium to soft for him. He's going to come out. First guy to pit.
Yeah, he's gone for that undercut, and it looks like he might get himself out in a nice bit of clean air as well. He'll have a few seconds ahead of him to Craig Conley, so he can really hone in those tyres for the first couple of laps before he gets up to traffic. And he's also managed to come out in a nice 8th place with Halo just behind him, so well-timed pit stop there for Just Sander, and undercut might work on him. While you were talking about that, you mentioned Haters getting the penalty. He also did a lovely dive bomb on Godzilla down into what I believe is turn 12 at the right-hander just before the final 2 hairpins, and he's got himself up into P10 now on a fresh set of mediums, only 3 laps old.
All right, there you have it. Maybe just pushed a little hard on those soft tires and got him that penalty. You gotta let those things warm up, man. It's a big difference.
He is really pushing. I've been riding on board with Haters for the past lap or so. He is honed in at the moment. He's hitting every apex. He's using a little bit of battery here and there, but he is gaining quickly on Halo in front of him, so we might see a battle here for 9th in the next lap or so.
Yeah, we're on board now. They come around the penultimate corner. It looks like he is reeling him in with a vengeance. Despicable Nelly in the chat says using less ERS keeps the tires fresher. Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about. Boss Cookie really conserving those tires. I think he could pull away with it if he wants, but it's not going to happen. Here goes Haters down the inside of the Red Bull of Halo. No competition there. Just shoots past him.
Oh,
the Aston Martin.
He's gone a little bit deep into the corner, but it looks like he'll be able to hold on to it. And it's practically the exact same move I just saw Just Sander pull on Craig Conley as well. He's taken full advantage of those softs like I said he would. And he's up into P7 with a nice 6-second gap ahead of him to Penguin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a fastest lap of the race coming this time around for Just Sander.
Yeah, and I'm noticing too in this new game, so yeah, granted I haven't played it a whole lot, but I just noticed that the track limits are a little more forgiving. We saw all 4 tires leave the line there, and it didn't give him a naughty boy mark. Maybe got a warning on his end, but Haters there in that right-hander takes all 4 tires past the white line, so he's gonna have to be careful. He's already got a penalty.
We've got people in the pits as well. We've got Boss Cookie and Luxury both pitting. Boss Cookie opting for a set of the hard tyres on the Red Bull there, so he's firmly going for a one-stop strategy here. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out as Just Sander comes around the final corner, sets the fastest lap of the race as we predicted, and coming down the main straight now, he's going to be right behind Boss Cookie, so that undercut strategy from Sander working an absolute treat.
All right, so Luxury pitted with Boss Cookie. He went to the mediums, so we're gonna see the gamble here. He's going for a little more grip. Boss Cookie going the distance, so we'll have to see how this pays off for these two guys. But yeah, as GB mentioned, that undercut fantastic for Just Sanders.
Yeah, he's got himself up into effectively a net P2 at the moment from where he was down in, I believe, 5th place when he made that pit stop. So excellent work from the Alpine there, potentially looking to sort of mimic what Esteban Ocon did a couple of years ago by getting a win for Alpine at Hungary.
Yeah, I don't think those softs are going to take him the distance. I really don't. I think he's banking on a safety car. We saw him go about 12, 13 laps on the softs. That's going to bring him well short of the finish line. I think he's definitely hoping there's going to be some antics here late in the race. I think these two guys ahead of him.
Yeah, both Boss Cookie and Sander here coming up to the back of a little bit of a battle as we see Billy and Penguin peel into the pit lane on his 15-lap-old mediums, but Arrow opting to stay out on tyres of the same age, so he's going to have 2 very quick cars coming up behind him now.
I think he's going to get swallowed up here in turn 2. Boss Cookie's all over him, got the DRS. He's going to go down the outside of him. Should get around pretty easy. Now this is going to be key for the guys behind. They're going to have to get by Arrow quick. Just Sanders, the undercut working great for him, but he's got Arrow in front of him. He's got to get by quick or Boss Cookie's going to run away. Arrow a little bit slower there on the older tires.
And it is perhaps the worst part of the track that just
Oh,
Sander
big
could
wiggle.
almost
Big
lose
wiggle
him.
from Sanders, able to hang on to it. Loses the rear end as he tries to get the power down on those cold tires.
Just a bit of oversteer in that dirty air, and just Sander brilliantly saving it, keeps himself facing the right direction. But like I was just about to say before that, he's caught Arrow here at the worst possible time. Look at the gap that Boss Cookie's pulled, 2 seconds in just one sector of the track. It is the worst part of the Hungarian, as he actually squeezes Arrow off a little bit there,
Yeah, it pushes
making
him
that
just a bit
overtake.
wide.
But it is the worst part, and it's the difficult thing about this track. That sector 2 is so tight and twisty. Getting caught up behind a car there, as we saw with Sander, it could be so costly. And now he's got a 3-second gap to try and get, close up to the back of Boss Cookie.
Yeah. I mean, Arrow essentially became a rolling roadblock there in Sector 2, and it wasn't intentional. It's just very tight there, and it's a rhythm section. There's nowhere to really pass, and Boss Cookie capitalizes. He's now 3 seconds ahead, using a lot of that battery. You saw that battery he had saved up. You can see there in the MFD on the wheel, he's really pushed. He saw the opportunity to get ahead and use Arrow as that rolling roadblock at that point, and he just really pulled away.
Yeah, and I think we're about to see part 2 of the rolling roadblock, as Luxury on his fresh mediums has caught up to the back of Arrow at the exact same point that we saw just Sander catch up to him. So we'll see if he can make a move any sooner than the Alpine, but I think Luxury's just going to have to sort of sit tight for the time being.
I mean, he might as well be in his back pocket here. It's just fractions of an inch that separate him. He's trying to get by, and it's the same thing. Luxury able to keep a little more speed. Doesn't lose as much time. Halo's going to brake and let him through. Halo on the brakes. I'm sorry, Arrow on the brakes a little early there. Halo, Luxury's able to get through. Just unfortunate timing there for both guys to catch him right there in the entrance of Sector 2. It's just not a good passing area.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, for Luxury, he's in a bit of an awkward situation at the moment, because he's got that gap to Just Sander ahead of him. We know Just Sander will be making another pit stop. The softs will not last the whole race, but for the gap now, Luxury to Boss Cookie, it's over 10 seconds. And that was, you think, just before the pit stops, it was only a matter of, what, 3 seconds maybe? That gap has opened up massively. And Luxury on a set of tyres that it would be a very, very big stretch to take them to the end. I think Luxury may well struggle to get catch up to Boss Cookie in this one.
Yeah, I agree. While that was going on, Jason Gordon takes a big dive bomb down the inside of Arrow into turn 1. Arrow forced well wide. I think there was space. I didn't see any contact. I think Arrow maybe just caught him. Thought he was a little closer than he was. There was some space between both cars, but Arrow wide in turn 1. Jason Gordon through, and he's diving after Luxury. He's trying to reel him in here. We're on board with the driver of the Mercedes now. You can see the Williams just ahead of him as they come through the last 2 turns. Pushed real hard.
It is interesting. It's interesting to note the split strategies here from the Mercedes. Ollie in the lead of this race by 6 seconds, still hasn't pitted on those 19 lap old mediums, which suggests to me he's doing a one-stop and medium to soft instead of medium hard like we've seen with Boss Cookie. So that could really potentially prove interesting in the late end of this race to see if Ollie can close that gap on much quicker tyres to the Red Bull.
It should be interesting to see. While we're talking about that, Pipe Tech, thank you for the follow, big dog. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. We're about halfway through-ish, a little over of the Hungaroring. This is going to be interesting. I think GB's got a good point here. Ollie really stretching those mediums, but he's losing a lot of time here. Boss Cookie just reeling him in. He's got to make a decision quick here. His teammate's already pitted. He's 3 lap old hards. He's trying to reel in Luxury. He's doing it well too. He's already cut it down to just under 1.5 seconds, or just at 1.5 seconds. He's pushing though. You can see him really getting after it in the Mercedes.
Yeah, and it's interesting for this at the moment. You lose about 20 odd seconds for a pit stop. That's going to bring Ollie out in around about 7th place, I'd say, maybe 6th place. It's going to be close between him and Haters for who will stay ahead. And Ollie does now come into the pits, straps on a new set of softs, so we'll see where he comes out here.
He's going to try to take them all the way. Let's hope they can hang on. We saw 12 or 13 laps on the softs. It's all going to be about how hard he pushes that tire compound between now and the end of the race. It's going to have to be conservative. He's going to come out just ahead of Haters. He's going to dive into the first corner. Haters is 2.8 seconds behind and gaining. I think that was a good stop for him, though. I think it's a good stop. We'll have to see how the strategy plays out. But that puts him and his teammate in range of each other. Should be a good finish for Mercedes.
The thing that is key now for Ollie is he needs to close what is a 16.5-second gap to Cookie at the moment. That's what he'd be hoping to close. I think it might be a bit of a stretch, but even if he's just wanting to get up to Luxury, say, in third place, he needs to be closing at nearly a second lap. Yeah, so we're going to have to see some really fast and consistent lap times from that second Mercedes.
Yeah, they're really going to have to stretch the legs on that car. I don't think he's got the fuel in the tank. I mean, he's charging on aero right now. He's just eating aero up on those old tires. 20-lap-old mediums. He just whizzes by him down the inside. So we're on board with Ollie now. He's really going to have to just send that car to its limits and see if he can get reeled in here. 8.8 seconds behind his teammate. I think...
forward. I've just seen Luxury make a move down the inside of just Sander into turn 1, so perhaps those soft tyres on the Alpines starting to go off a little bit in comparison to the slightly fresher mediums, and Luxury up into P2. And in terms of Luxury's race in that Williams, I think he'll actually be quite encouraged to have seen what Ollie did in the Mercedes. He took his mediums 19 laps, and if Luxury is to go to the end on his set of mediums, they will also end up doing 19 laps. So I think he'll be quite, optimistic that his tyres will be able to go the distance. It's just whether the cars behind him will have more pace in those final few laps on fresher tyres.
Yeah, Arrow's in the pits. He goes for the soft, so he's looking for the soft strategy to the end as well. He makes short work of Craig Conley. Billion got by him in the pits, so Arrow's on the charge now as well. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He's 11 seconds back from Billion, so he's got his work cut out for him.
And it would be interesting to keep an eye on the timing sheets as well, just to see if anyone's setting fast laps here. Just Stander is still holding that fastest lap of 1:17.9 that he set early on in his soft tyre stint. So it'd be interesting to see if the likes of Ollie and Arrow are able to beat that fastest lap for a start and then be able to close in on the cars ahead. Ollie just crossing the line there, only setting a 1:18.8. It's a full second off the pace of just under on his soft tyres at the start.
Yeah, and we were talking about that pace per lap he was going to have to get caught up, and I think he's falling a little short of that mark. Not really closing the gap like he would like to.
Yeah, still 15.5 seconds off the lead of Boss Cookie. It's been a couple of laps and he's only gained about a second, so he needs to be working that down a bit more. 12 laps remaining and currently about 11 seconds, off second place Luxury, who I think is his most realistic target here in this race.
Watching Ollie, he's making a lot of time in Sector 2. It looks like he's got it really dialed in there. The car's set up for that rhythm section, that back and forth curves. I think that might be why he's a little slower at the start finish. I think he's got a little more downforce to accommodate that. As I said, he runs a purple Sector 2. So I think he's just a little bit faster there in the bendies. And I think the straight is going to be a little bit slower for him because he's running that higher downforce. But we'll have to see how that pans out for him.
Just Sander into the pits from third place. So that is another car that Ollie won't have to battle on track, so he'll be very pleased to see that. Next car ahead of him will be his teammate, JG, in third place. Just Sander stropping on a second set of soft tyres, and he'll be back out on track. Oh, it's going to be close between him and Haters here.
Yeah, we're with Haters now. Haters is going to get him. Should get him in the corner.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, big.
So it's not what Just Sanders will want to see there. A car directly ahead of him while he's on the fresh tyres and the fastest compound. But I'm sure he'll be able to make light work of the Aston Martin. But I have a feeling we're going to see another mobile chicane here.
Yeah, I think so. It's rolling roadblock ×3. But I think this might actually work out for him because it's going to bring him out in DRS right behind the Aston Martin. So when he comes around the straight, he should be able to get through him. Oh, look at this daring move down the inside. Oh my goodness, that was close. Thought he thought about it hard there.
He really did think about that move, and I won't be surprised if we see him attempt another move somewhere else in this sector because
I think the
he's
right-hander.
clearly got the pace
I
advantage.
think the right-hander at the end. He's a little far back for it now.
Yeah, it'll be
He's
this
gonna go for
right-hander
it
at the
here.
end of the straight.
He's gonna go for it here. Down the inside. Oh, the grip is just immense there. You can see he just sticks it on the inside rumble, and he's just through that fast. So that actually worked out in his favor, I think. Got a little help. Well back though, 14 seconds to Ollie.
Yeah, back at the front of the grid, Boss Cookie about to catch some lap traffic, so we're going to see our first lapping of the race. It's Leixi in the Alfa Romeo down in 16th place on a fresh set of mediums, so he'll probably actually have similar pace to Cookie, who seems to be saving his his ERS again. That gap behind him to Luxury is coming down ever so slightly, but as I say, I think Cookie just looking after those tyres, saving a little bit of battery just in case he needs it in the late game of this race.
Yeah, Ultra Tight in the chat said got so unlucky, so it looks like he's struggling. Things didn't fall into place for him this race.
Yeah, Titan, we've seen him on the podium twice this season at Qatar and at Silverstone, but down in 13th place today. He is the lead Alfa Romeo, and of course, everyone that finishes this race will be scoring points, with points down to 16th place in WHF. And yeah, just not an ideal race for Titan by the looks of it. He's not exactly been at his usual, high level that we see him at week in, week out.
Jamie Dwyer losing out there. The Alfa Romeo is going to get by down the front straight. That's a battle for 15th place. Still matters. We're still watching it down there. So you guys, Jamie just gets eat up in the DRS, and we got Ultra Titan all over the back of Bone Apple here into the chicane. A little spice happening
of the race as well. Yet another fastest lap of the race to just Sander, improving on his previous time with a 1:17.7. Now, and holding that fastest lap by over 0.3 of a second to the next quickest, which is Ollie in the Mercedes in 4th place, who is closing, it's worth noting, 5 and a bit seconds, or 4 now, 4 and a bit seconds to his teammates JG on those sets of hards. So, be interesting to see if that gap closes down. Will we see much of a battle between the two teammates?
Well, we got a hell of a battle going on between Billion Penguin and Haters. Billion Penguin tried to go down the inside in turn 1, stuck it. Haters held him out into turn 2 and ended up coming out in the first straight there. That was a big dive. They were wheel to wheel all the way through the first 3 corners. Looks like Haters has pulled away, but this is going to be a battle. Billion Penguin's going to come back at him for sure. 15 lap old mediums against 9 lap hards. I think the Haas has the advantage on tire compound, but Haters showing him he's got the skills, held him at bay. I think we're going to see
absolutely.
The Haas is going to sneak by here down the straight for sure. He's in range for the attack. But Haters gave him a run there on the last lap. Here we go. We're on board with the Haas. DRS engaged. He's going to shoot by. Haters gives him a little block to the right, though. All right, they're wheel to wheel into the turn 1. Aston Martin slightly ahead. You can just see how close they are here. They're almost touching. Haters giving them a run for the money. Look at this battle.
Yeah. He's thinking of going for the switchback here, I think, Billion Penguin, but it's another right-hander to Haters.
Yeah, wrong side of the car. Yeah, Haters putting on the defensive clinic here. What a battle there.
Brilliant defensive driving there from Haters, but we have to remember he does have that time penalty that the guy behind him does not. 3 seconds to Haters, 0 to Billion Penguin. But all the time, this battling is costing them time to Arrow behind, who's on his fresh set of softs. So if they battle for too long, we could see this 2-way scrap for 6th place becoming a 3-way scrap.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Come on, Arrow.
Arrow gained in a whole second so far on this lap. He's really pushing to close these two.
I think it's going to get him. I think he's going to get him near the front straight. Haas takes a peek. Aston Martin blocks him off. These two are just slugging it out. It's like 2 boxers standing toe-to-toe, throwing blows. Haas with a little better compound here. He's going to hug the inside, but Haters just putting the car right in the middle of the road. All right, I think this is it. I think Billy Penguin's going to get by here. Haters using a lot of battery to stay alongside him.
Billion also almost out of battery. He's got his red light flashing. I was riding on board with Arrow and saw it there. A little bit of argy-bargy on the exit of the corner, but they're still side by side coming down into the second hairpin at turn 2. Haters run
Oh,
so
a little
deep.
wide, yeah, a little deep there, a little deep, and then the Haas is ahead. What a battle these two had for the last 2 laps. Arrow taking full advantage of it, though. Second and a half back on the sauce. He's fixing to reel them both in.
He has gained about 2 seconds on that last lap alone, and now he is right in the battle. He's within DRS range already of Haters, who's going to be mobile chicane part 4 in this race through the middle sector if he's not careful.
I think he's okay here. I think he's okay. I think he's going to catch him at just the right time. He can make a move at the second right-hander here. He's got to push as he comes out of the exit here. Oh, he's going to hold back. No battery. So I think he's going to wait for the straight. But he's reeled him in very quickly over the last 2 laps.
Arrow will know that Haters on a much older set of mediums. He'll probably have been talking to his race engineer, knowing that he is on a very worn set of mediums. And, you know, by the end of this race, Haters is going to be on 25 lap-old mediums. It'll be an incredible feat from the Aston Martin to do it. He's going to squeeze him going down the main straight, but Arrow just holding his nerve. Haters goes deep into turn 1, and Arrow slips it down the inside.
You can tell the grip's gone for the Aston Martin. He tried to squeeze him, tried to fight him off there. He left him the room. He showed him the respect, but he gave him a little squeeze there. You can just see the tires not able to hold that line. The soft's able to dip underneath. So now Arrow's going to try to reel in Billion Penguin. This is a battle here in the midfield. And I called it 5th to 10th. This is where all the action's going to be late in the race.
Yes, and I think Billy and Penguin will certainly have been wishing that Haters could have had a bit of a longer battle with Arrow than that one was. I mean, it only lasted essentially 2 corners, whereas we saw the Haas and the Aston Martin battling for practically 2 laps straight. So it certainly hasn't helped Billy and Penguin that one, and Arrow already within the DRS range as we come through the back end of Sector 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Arrow sizing up another move in the next lap or 2 here. But for Haters now, he has that penalty, and he's on very worn tyres with Craig Conley and Halo behind him on fresher hards. I think Haters' game now has to be consolidating that 8th place, looking after the tyres as much as he can. And in fact, he pits.
I think he's going to pit here, go to the softs and try to push. He's going to have to try to push to save position. That penalty's going to hurt him, so he's got to go to the red compound and just absolutely send that Aston Martin.
He's going for the aggressive strategy. I thought potentially he could have looked after those tyres and just kept that gap to Craig, because it was up at 8 seconds, so he had 5 seconds to play with because of that penalty. But Haters deciding that in the final 5 laps of this race, he feels like he can potentially catch them and get that position back.
Yeah, I think he's got the pace. I've seen him do it. He's gonna try to reel in Halo at least. I don't think he's got enough to get Conley. We're just too short on laps. Halo all over the back of Billion Penguin now. I think we're gonna see an attack down the front straight. You can see him reeling him in. He's all in the rearview mirror of the Haas. Check the battery situation. Comparable, they're pretty even, so he's going to have to get in close. He's going to have to really make some distance here in these last couple of turns. I think the second DRS straight is where it's going to be.
Yeah, riding on board with Arrow at the moment, coming through the final corner. He's got about 7/10 of a second back, so he's going to close it in with the DRS here. It's just whether he can get close enough, as you say, AJ, for that second bite of the cherry with the DRS running down into turn 2. Closes up the gap into turn 1 by about 0.2 of a second. I think this time around he might just be a bit too far back.
Too far as well. Billion had a good exit there out of 2.
He did, he really did. And for Arrow, the longer he stays behind Billion, the more this plays into the advantage of the Haas driver, because Arrow's tyres, they're not going to last for as long as his are. You know, 14 lap hards, they've still got that bit of life left in them, but the softs we saw earlier, they only last about 12 laps or so. Well, Arrow already done 9 laps on them, so they're certainly coming towards the end of their life.
Yeah, that final lap, they're going to be pretty wasted, and the hards are going to go the distance. So I think Billion Penguin's just clawing at it. He's just trying to keep him at bay, trying to not let him through. I think Arrow's going to attack here. He's been charging the whole lap.
Oh, he goes
there's
deep in the corner and makes contact.
There's a little bit of contact. I think he tried to brake there. You could see him not lock up, but he really had to get into the brakes there.
Yeah, and it's cost him that. Yeah, that's cost him. He's now 9/10 of a second back, and well, Arrow also with a 3-second penalty. So I think Billy and Penguin knows if he could just keep it behind for 1 lap or so more, he just won't be able to pull that 3-second gap to him if Arrow does get through.
I got a fair shout. I think that if Billion can keep him at bay on this lap, he's not going to get by. I mean, if he gets by, it's not going to matter. The penalty's going to put him behind. So what we need to do is jump to the front. We got Jason Gordon, JG, chasing Luxury 6/10 back. He's charging. He's making a run here in the final moments.
Yeah, Luxury on 16-lap-old mediums versus the 15-lap-old hards. Those mediums, we saw Ollie was struggling at the back end of his opening stint on the mediums where he managed 19 laps. And yellow flag, what's happened there? Lightsy out of the race.
Looks like a DNF. Looks like he maybe crashed.
Yeah, potentially. Can't really tell what happened with that one, but it's more the battle at the front. We're bothered about 0.2 of a second from JG to Luxury ahead of him. Wasn't able to make a move into turn 2 on that lap, but he'll harvest a bit of battery through sector 2 on this lap, and he'll go again on the next DRS straight he gets on the main straight.
Can't confirm. That was terminal damage from the Alfa Romeo Leipzig. He looks like he lost it and went into the outside wall and exit of the final corner. He is cleared out of the way. Race is going to continue without a safety car. So not working out for those guys that were hoping for a safety car.
And I think in the battle for the fastest lap, I think Just Sander may just hold on to it here. Haters now 3 laps into his stint on softs, only has managed a 1:18.7, a full second slower than Sanders. I was going to make a prediction that if Haters was able to set that fastest lap, we see Just Sander has a 24-second gap behind him to Billy and Penguin. I wouldn't have been at all surprised to see Sanders pit for another set of softs if he had one on one of the final laps, just to make sure he got that fastest lap for the race. But right now I think he's got it locked up at the moment.
I think he does too. I think he just needs to hang on. Williams 24 seconds down. I don't think anybody's going to challenge him. He's shown that he's got the pace. He set the fastest lap and then reset it here in the mid part of the race. I think he's good. I think he's just got to ride it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pit here for softs, I don't think, trying to get a faster lap. All right.
And that's if he even has another set of softs, to be fair, because he's done 2 soft stints in this race. So I think he's definitely used up all his softs. I've been looking at Boss Cookie during this lap, almost 4 seconds clear at the front. He has been using some battery recently, but even he, with all of his pace that he has after, you know, undeniably saving some tyres during this race and saving up his battery, even he, when dumping that battery now, can't get anywhere near the lap time. So I think Just Sander will pick up the extra, is it extra 1 point or 2 points with us for fastest lap? I can't remember, but it looks like he'll be picking those up anyway.
All right, Jason Gordon reeling in Luxury. 0.4 of a second here. We're down to the final lap. He's going to sit it all here. He's going to try to get by. It's a little far back. He's using a lot of battery. So's Luxury. He's trying to keep him behind.
Yeah, both of them running on absolute dregs at the moment, but we'll get a second bite. Oh, loses a big on there.
Big wiggle for Jason Gordon. That's going to cost him. That might be it. That might cost him the second spot. Just got a little eager on the throttle.
Final lap of the race, and JG, that's not what he needed. He has another wiggle there coming down the hill through turn 3, but manages to keep control of the car, but almost, well, he's lost all the time he's gained effectively because of that, and I think he's going to have to settle for P3 here. Luxury, in fairness, doing a fantastic job of managing those mediums at this late stage of the race. I haven't seen many mistakes from him during this race whatsoever.
Yeah, that first wiggle into turn 2 really cost him. He lost the rear end, had to lift. That second wiggle looked like he stayed in it. He just drove out of it. So props to him for that, for having the cojones to just keep it mashed through the corner. But That really cost him there, and I think Boss Cookie is going to walk away with this one. I think it's going to be Boss Luxury Jason. But, hey, good race for Mercedes. Like 3-4, they're going to have some solid constructors. There's your race winner, Boss Cookie. He's going to bring it into the pit wall so his team can celebrate. Luxury. Oh, Luxury's in. Somebody there slammed into the wall. I didn't see who that was, but that was a big crash.
I think that was the Haas of Bone Apple there. Just deciding that enough was enough. He's lost his front right, but he crossed the line.
Yeah, that was Bone Apple. Absolutely slams it into the wall as he crossed the line, so he's good where he's at.
Yeah, and we've seen behind them just Sander securing 4th place. Ollie has run out of fuel. Coming up to the line, he has a penalty, and Billy and Penguin is catching him at an absolute rate of knots. I think Billy and Penguin's going to steal 5th place off the Mercedes.
I think he's going to take it from him. All he's got to do is get it within 3, and he's there.
And he does. Ollie running out of fuel on the final lap, getting P6 instead. He manages to hold off Arrow. Which is lucky for him, certainly. But Ollie dropping another spot. It should have been P5, but running out of fuel and dropping to P6. Elsewhere, Arrow picking up P7. Craig Conley in the lead. McLaren gets 8th place with Halo in 9th. And Ultra Titan getting himself up into the top 10. Haters just slipping out of it by 1/10 of a second. Those guys at the back end of the top 10 really close because of all those penalties.
Craig Conley in the chat said he had undercarriage damage. It was horrible to drive. Billion Penguin, driver of the day. Billion had a good run, man. He raced it well. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to do some post-race interviews. Hey, big shout-out to everybody tuned in today. We were about 13 viewers for most of the race, 13, 10, around there. And then we had some big bit donations. Craig Conley, 1,000 bits. Ezzy in there for 100 with the sound alert. So much love to you guys for donating to the stream. GB, fantastic job today, man. You're welcome back to the booth anytime.
It feels good to be back. I think we might have to do this again fairly soon, I'd say.
Let's do it. Boss Cookie gets the big points, 25. Just Sanders with the fast lap ends up with 13. Big race today, man. That was a good one. At Hungary, no safety car. We had a VSC, but we had no actual safety car, and I think that really kind of messed with everybody's strategy. Bone Apple got a drive-through today. We had I think a couple of terminals.
I'm seeing in the post-race chat between the drivers as well, Arrow saying his force feedback turned off. So, all things considered, a really good result there for Arrow and the Ferrari. Absolutely. You know,
I don't know if you guys have ever raced without force feedback. It is extremely hard to drive these cars without the force feedback.
Especially without the traction control. Now, Arrow, I believe, runs 0 assists. You know, doing that without force feedback, that is no mean feat. So to get 7th place and only pick up 2 penalties as well is worth noting. You know, around a track like Hungary, without force feedback, to only get 2 penalties for corner cutting, that's a really, really good result for him.
All right, GB, if you don't mind, can you send out some invites? We need Boss Cookie, Luxury, JG, and then Billion Penguin. I'll try to do what I can. I'm not sure how many people I still have on here. Let's see. I got Billion Penguin. And then I'm pretty sure I got Boss Cookie.
Jamie Dwyer saying in the driver chat that he enjoyed that, finished last, but I don't care, and that's what that's all about racing, isn't it? You know, he's turned up as a reserve, and he's had fun in it, and that's the main thing.
That's all you can hope for, man. I don't think I have Boss Cookie's got all the X's, so he's down at the bottom. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, I've sent out invites. We'll see. We'll see who joins us up in the commentary booth. We've got Luxury in here with us. We'll have a chat to some of the drivers now.
All right, guys, so don't worry. You don't have to tick the box to include your audio. We're running on the premium commentary booth, so you don't have to tick any boxes. Your audio will be automatically included. Let's see if we can get the old showroom up so we can give everybody their honors. Bear with me, because it's my first time back of the new season, so when you get ready to do your interview, if you'll tell me what car you're in, I'll get your car up there so everybody can see your honors.
While you're sorting that, I've just seen Bone Apple T seems to have fallen out with his engineer in that race, saying that Mark kept telling me about a VSC. I couldn't ask for a pit and couldn't focus on the Delta, so that explains his drive-through penalty. I'm sure there'll be words between him and Mark after that one.
All right, let's see. We got Billion, we got Luxury. Waiting on Boss Cookie. JG. Do we got JG? Let's see if we
We'll
can
try and get them all in here. I'm trying.
Okay, there's UT. Let's go.
Everyone's coming.
Alright, I got JG. I'll send him an invite. Oh, Luxury's left. Luxury, come back. We need to talk to you about your phenomenal race. Alright, there we go. Alright, I think we're waiting on JG and Boss Cookie. Alright, well, let's start them off so we don't keep everybody waiting. So let's start with Luxury. He was P2 today. Great drive. Let's talk about it. So Luxury, let's see. You're in the Williams, so let's get that beautiful Williams up there. Let's give it some love. Luxury, if you got a microphone, tell us about your race, man. Great defense there at the end. Looks like the strategy worked out.
Hello.
There we go.
There
There
we
we go. Let's go. Tell us about your race, man. That was a fantastic drive by you in the
cannot
Williams.
hear none. I have no audio, but I'll just go ahead and say,
Yeah, send it.
I had a pretty shite start. What else happened? Yeah, I got fucked up on lap 1. I dropped hella places, but race pace was good. Had a good recovery, good fight with JG, and I'll take the end result. But there was a slight chance I could have had better.
I agree. So he can't hear us when we're talking, and that's okay. He had a heck of a race. Like, he's absolutely right. He was in that drama at the beginning of the race, lost out a bunch of positions, and then came back and ended up P2. So hats off to Luxury and the Williams. Great drive today, big man. Let's also get with our driver of the day. Billion Ping gets the nod for driver of the day. Billion, pretty good race. You finished 5th. Had a bit of a battle there at the end. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, nothing much really happened, to be honest. I qualified a lot higher than I was expecting. I qualified higher than my time trial pace, so I thought I was going to be like 15th, managed to get 9th. And then I just kept out with trouble for the entire race. Had a few nice battles going on, but apart from that, it was quite a quiet race for me.
All right, well, we're happy to see it, man. That was a good result for the Haas, and we look forward to seeing you back up at the top. Driver of the day's nod, so you get a little plaque for that one as well. So hands out. So Boss Cookie gets the win. He isn't joining the party, so hats off to Boss Cookie in the first spot.
He's a fraud. He's a fraud. Ban him.
Boss Cookie and JG already enjoying the champagne by the sounds of it. They're off. They're back to their motorhomes. They've given up for today.
Boss Cookie's pulling the inner Kimi Räikkönen now. He's already in the booth. All right, we got UT in the chat. UT, can you talk us through what happened there early in the race? I saw you lost an end plate. Looked like a little coming together. Can we keep it friendly and give us the details?
Yeah, I got rear-ended at first corner, and that wasn't helpful. And then it was more of a constant teeter into the chicane, and I just got the bad end of it, lost my left side of my wing, and needed to pit, and then got held up in the pit, so nothing really went well. But the pace was good. I was going to be competitive at the front if I was there, so at least there's something good.
Well, we hate to see it. We love to see it at the front. We like to see you contend. Hopefully you got a better go in the next race. GB was phenomenal in the booth today, guys. I'm very pleased with it. The race today was great. No safety car. We had a VSC. But other than that, I mean, it was a pretty clean race. Everybody got through turns 1 and 2 clean on the start. So hats off. No early ready up. So we were still kicking tier 2's ass. So I like that. Craig Conley with 1,000 bits today. Craig, you're fantastic, bro. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Ezzy with 100 bits with the sound alert. So Zampa in there for a couple today as well. So we appreciate everybody supporting the stream. The GOAT's back, man. I hope you loved the commentary today. GB did a great job. I hope you enjoyed my part of it. The race was clean, and we're going to be back next week. So we got a race on Saturday. We got ourselves some bits. Oh, Zampa in there with 10 more bits. Thank you, Zampa.
Zampa also saying haters shouted in his car, which is interesting.
I mean, it's haters' car. He can do what he wants. So next week we got Spain here in Tier 1. Some bits. Zampa in for more bits. Spain in Tier 1. Saturday we've got Tier 2. That's gonna be
And
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. So that'll be a spicy
yeah.
one on the 19th. So Las Vegas, that'll be good. Break week after both those races, I believe. I think that's going to be break week for both groups. And then we'll be back after that. Tier 2 has got Italy. So I'm not sure if is that Monza or Imola? There's 2 of them there.
I believe that will be Monza.
I would hope it's
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
So we'll be here Saturday, Sunday. I think Arrow's got comms next Saturday. I'll be here next Sunday. We'll see if GB's available to sit back in.
I
'cause he
will
did a
try and get
fantastic
back
job.
from Brands Hatch to be with you.
Well, if not, that's one place to miss it at. So much love to everybody
Exactly.
that tuned in today. And we're out. This is We Have Fun F1. We'll see you next Saturday and Sunday. Cheers. All right, we're out.